Job 20:26. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Call halal Yahweh B'Shem Abishai B'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, to be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, among the heathen that look like the heathen, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. And this will not end well for anybody except the elect. This is going to end very badly for the heathen, for the 2/3, and especially for Esau, Edom, who is the so-called white man in the Bible. All right. And basically, Esau is being found out on the world stage. The nations are really rallying against him. He's divided. He's against himself and everyone else at this point. All right, just trying to line this up. There we go. So I'm going to grab a quick video. See if I can find it. Where a couple quick ones. That's not it. This is it. And this is a quick insert from Weon. But let's just see how the nations are feeling about America. Let's real quickly here.
The United States is a declining power. The withdrawal in Afghanistan exposed American weaknesses. The invasion of Ukraine confirmed the limits of American influence. And our allies like Saudi Arabia are drifting away, signaling the end of the American era.
One more time.
The United States is a declining power. The withdrawal in Afghanistan exposed American weaknesses. The invasion of Ukraine confirmed the limits of American influence. And our allies like Saudi Arabia are drifting away, signaling the end of the American era.
Yep, and it is. It is the end of the American era, and they're exposed. All right, especially the way they try to do distraction news. When they get exposed on something, they use their media to distract with something else. And I find it amazing because now there's a new Omicron variant. So they're saying that it's hitting Thailand, India, and the UK, especially India, after India put them on blast on the world stage. And I'm gonna play that clip in a moment. It's very powerful. All right, so let's play that clip. Because, like it says, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and that's mainly through the internet, through social media, through the World Wide Web, which was prophesied. All right, that was prophesied in Psalms the 19th chapter, which we refer to as the internet scripture. The internet was prophesied in the Bible, and the prophets of the Lord has used the internet to propagate the true word of the Lord, the true meaning and understanding of the Bible, which has been denied and hid and kept secret for generations. But here we go.
You're accusing NATO of being weak? What is India doing?
I shall only respond to you very briefly to your unnecessary attack on India. I do not understand anymore, and it's becoming frustrating that any discussion regarding this war becomes a discussion on India. Well, I will say it one more time to you, Dove. India is going to take care of India. India is going to look after India's interests. And our economy is growing 3 times the pace or 4 times the pace of the American economy. More and more Americans are living under the poverty line. They are not able to make ends meet. Right? And more Indians are rising economically. And please, this is not our war. Dove, you are the ones with the biolabs in Ukraine.
There it is.
You are the ones, Joe Biden's sons was doing all kinds of business in Ukraine. You are vested in Ukraine. You are pushing Ukraine. You are encouraging Ukraine. And yesterday, your president went and said, listen, Zelensky, if you want to give up territory, it's your choice. Listen, Zelensky, if you want to break up your country and give a little bit of it to Russia, it's your choice. You have hung the Ukrainians out to dry, Dove, and how dare you question India all the time?
Look at the smirk on that devil's face.
You're just saying, go fight to the last
over
Ukrainian.
$2.5 billion of assistance. How much have you guys given? The whole world considers Mr.
We've given humanitarian aid. It's your war.
Aggressive.
It's your war. We'd rather give them food than weapons. By giving them weapons, you are driving them further down into greater difficulty. Biden is begging the Venezuelans to give him a little bit of extra oil, but he says that India is on shaky ground. America fled for Afghanistan with their incompetence exhibited in frightening pictures of Afghans hanging onto the wheels of their transport aircraft. But he says, no, India is being shaky about Ukraine. This is his war. He started it. And he needs to take both the responsibility and accountability for it. America has absolutely no business attacking us anymore. When it is they who have provided the spark that's led to the bloodiest and most unending of all wars. America is
that's enough. He is putting them on blast, man. And it isn't India's war. So, just like when the data from the damage that was done from the medicine that they forced on everyone through mandates, when that data was released, all right, all of a sudden this war started. Yeah. All right. And then as soon as the information came out that America did have biolabs that were creating weapons that could harm Russia, which is the real reason why Russia went into there. One of the main reasons was to stop that, to get control over those labs. As soon as that information was leaked, all of a sudden the slap from around the world. So this is what America does. They, when the story is condemning to them, they distract with something else, or they simply just show you something else continually until, the stupid, manipulated, easily, sheeple of America, for the most part, and the majority of Americans, believe whatever they see on their TV. And you saw the smirk and the look on that Edomite's face as the, elements putting them on blast. And instead of acknowledging that he was right, that they had done these things, he's just continues to try to propagate and push the lie, saying how much they've given. Well, you've given to your own cause, man. You caused the fire. So you the one that lit the fire to start the place to burn, and now you want everyone else to risk their lives to run in there to try to fix the problem that you started. No, man, it don't work like that. And quite frankly, the nations are tired, man. And you can clearly see that. This is Psalms. Let's go to the book of Psalms 64 and 2. And it reads, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrections of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. And that's what they do, man. All right. Verse 4, they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly they do shoot at him and fear not. And this is exactly how these people operate, man. They do most of their dirtiness and secretness. They distraction. They have a big event, a holiday or a big event. When everyone's distracted, they're passing laws, typically by pale men with bald faces wearing suits and neckties. I will continue to tell you at every chance, every breath that I have, that those are the most dangerous people on the face of the earth, the true terrorists. Men with pale faces that wear suits and neckties. They're the most dangerous individuals on the face of the earth. And they write legislation that ends up killing millions, that ends up destroying people's lives, taking away their livelihoods, their property, their rights. All right, they're the most dangerous people, and they just continually have evil plans, man. But their plans are being seen and being found out. All right, and it's reached up to to the Lord of Sabaoth, man. It's and the Lord's gonna send his armies, which are those things they call aerial phenomenons and UFOs. That's the army. That's the Air Force of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yahushua. All right, because the Lord is coming back. He said when he came back this last time that he would not greet thee as a man. He's coming in his angelic power. And which makes me think of in the book of Esther, the two characters, Bigtan and Teresh, who were plotting to try to kill the king, trying to kill Esther's husband. All right, because we were in captivity, and Esther was one of the king's wives, The whole story is the book of Esther is about the Israelites and about Mordecai. All right, but matter of fact, let's go to that. Because Esau has these wicked plans, man. He just keeps getting put on blast. This is Esther 2. I think I jumped to 21 because the point is in 23. Esther 2 and 21. It says, and in those days Mordecai sat at the king's gate. Two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth, and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus. And this thing was known to Mordecai, who told it to Esther, the queen, and Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore they were both hanged on a tree, and it was written in the book of Chronicles before the king. And there it is, man. He is making all these wicked plans, and he's just keep getting found out. And he will be hung on a tree, on the gallows, the same way as his forefather Ammon. Because the target, at the end of the day, the target is always going to be the Israelites, man. They're going to target the Israelites. So prepare your minds for that too, for the temptation, man, for the defamation of my name. All right. And as the rise of the Israelite foreigners, now it's like almost every week, man, more and more Israelite foreigners are coming onto the comment board and speaking out, putting up videos declaring that they believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and they believe that they're those scattered elect. It's prophesied. It's got to happen. So now them blacks only Israelites really gonna have a problem. When all these Israelite foreigners, like you got the brother over in the Philippines, who puts up videos every week of him teaching his congregation the true name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, and that he knows that he and people among him are the scattered elect. And then you got all these men now with pale faces, who are waking up to this truth, professing the truth, man, because the Lord look not on your outward appearance, but your inward. And we were scattered to all nations among all people. And after being there for generation after generation, many of our people look like those people. That's really simple. And that's something that the so-called white man never wants to acknowledge, that because he set up this whole white superiority thing and this whole color thing. He'll say that everyone's equal in America and all this, that, and the other, but yet he has all these different categories. When you go to fill out loans, jobs, or apply for applications or anything, they always want to know what color you are. If that were true, in America, they just would call you American and never have so-called white American, black American, Asian Pacific American, and all that. That wouldn't be there. That's how you know they're hypocrites and they're liars. Because if it were true, it would just be Americans in America. And it's not that. Everything's divided and separate and segregated in races, especially in cities like Chicago. All right. But let me grab Obadiah. The 6th verse. And it says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All right. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Man, Ellen was putting them on blast, man. Okay. putting them on straight blast and embarrassing them. And it says, and the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, and they that eat their bread have laid a wound under thee, and there were none understanding in him. Russia and China separated way back in 2016, and many nations, and then the whole BRICS nations were formed, and now they've been hoarding and stacking gold, and now the plan is finally being implemented, and now it's turning into the petro yuan, the petro ruble. All right, the dollar, the almighty dollar, King Dollar, is not king anymore. As you see, Franklin lost that fight. Clearly, he was bobbing when he should have been weaving. Beating up his opponent's fist with his face. I guess that's a new technique. I'm gonna fuck your hands up with my face, with your hands though. but let me play a little bit of this video. It's a couple of minutes of the Silver Report uncut.
If you haven't, be sure to follow our Telegram channel. It's t.me/Silver Report. Okay, so a couple big things I wanted to talk about today. Number one, it happens to be what's going on with gold. And there's a whole big change underway that a lot of people aren't talking about that much. Gold, it continues to bore investors. It hasn't really moved so much. It's been trapped in this range between 1900 and 1967. Mind you, is excellent. If you thought of those prices just a few years ago, you would have thought, wow, it will never get that high. But there's something even more important that hasn't got a lot of attention. In Russia, they announced that they will only accept payment for natural gas in rubles or gold.
You hear that?
This decision to effectively peg gold to the ruble at 5,000 rubles per gram. This could be applied to all other commodities that they sell as well. And if you're unaware, they produce a whole lot of the world's necessary commodities. You should follow the money right now because since 2016, both China and Russia have been working closer together to reduce their amount of treasuries, their FX reserves, and to move over to having more gold. They've been very significant gold buyers. China is the world's largest gold producer on paper, but who knows if those papers are true or not. But both have been steadily buying gold since the financial crisis in 2008. We actually did a video about this on the original Silver Report, and if you haven't, make sure to subscribe there, just youtube.com/C/Silver Report. We're going to be using that channel more.
And see, that makes the scripture so true because Russia and China weren't with America, but they weren't against them, and they were working with them. But at the same time, they were doing this, and this was them and the other nations with them laying that wound under them. Because by buying all this gold and setting themselves up to basically take over. So Esau's getting done the way he does, the way he's done people so much in the past is that he's looking to stand up in their place.
Probably for shorter videos at first, but hopefully we can move on to that channel. But they're two of the biggest producers in gold in the world. We brought up how their central banks had switched over to buying more gold, even though in China it was a lot more secretive. China has been buying up mining operations all around the world, however, and they've been moving out the same way that they've been buying the food operations. It's also illegal right now to export 1 ounce of gold from China. But at the same time, they have been reducing their dollar FX reserves and selling U.S. treasuries.
So that's the opposite of what Nixon did. It's illegal to export gold, but yet they're getting rid of the dollar. And America kind of did the opposite. They hoarded all the gold to themselves, to the elites, and made the people get rid of it and force the dollar. Might have times changed.
And when you put it all together, they're hedging against the collapse of the dollar. Both of these countries have a very big motivation to see
and they're hedging against it, they're causing it. That's them laying that wound under them, what I just read a moment ago.
Dollar fail. They understand how the world works. They're very powerful countries who believe that they don't need to be subject to another country. And if they can manage to put their heads together and to undermine the dollar reserve status, they can essentially...
Which they've done. They've already done this. They've achieved it. And Hungary, just EU nations just joined unto them. And the information that I received a couple days ago, 200 nations have already. So Esau is divided and falling. He's made bare. This is Jeremiah 49:10, and it reads, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled in his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right. So it's just a matter of time. All right. You're probably gonna have a couple months of nice weather, and you know, and Americans getting buck wild, shooting and killing each other as they're enjoying the nice weather at the same time that their country is collapsing and failing, and there's less opportunity. And you know, and where there's extreme poverty, we already had a problem with violence in America. That's only going to increase, you know, tremendously. You know, and you know, home invasions are going to increase, rapes and robberies, all that's going to increase, man. And until America just completely implodes into utter chaos, and that is what's coming, and it's coming soon. So with that, you know, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Stay prayed up. Wa Abba Shalom.